Good afternoon, and welcome to the Senior Hour, which is sponsored by Comfort Keepers in Home Care and Santa Clarita Hearing Center. I'm Barbara Cochran with my co-host
Dr. Gene Dorio.
on your hometown station, 98.1 FM, AM 1220 KHTS. This is a show for, about, and by seniors, giving information to enhance one's quality of life. And speaking of quality of life, the one and only Dr. Thomas Polucki, chiropractor, is here. Good to see
Welcome.
Thanks for
And the
having me
first
back.
thing I'm going to do is make an announcement. Everybody ready?
Drum
Okay,
roll.
here I go. Dr. Thomas Polucki, WebMD's top choice for best chiropractor and functional medicine in Santa Clarita. Isn't that
Congratulations.
wonderful? Congratulations.
Thank you.
Woohoo!
Thank you, Dr. Dorio.
That's
Whoa. That's fantastic.
Yeah,
What an
I
honor.
like it. It is. It really is. At first, I thought it wasn't real. Like they called me. They said this is so and so from, and they said the parent company, and I wasn't aware that WebMD wasn't an entity all in of itself. It's owned by a much larger corporation, and then when they said the parent company, I wasn't familiar with it. And he said, and we want you to represent chiropractic and functional medicine in Santa Clarita for our website. And I was like, okay, what's your website? Oh, it's WebMD. I'm like, wait, I'm going to check on that because, it just didn't seem right. I was like, okay, so you want my bank account number and my credit card and my social security number. And sure enough, when I checked on it, and I did that in real time, I was on the computer when they called like usual. I checked it out, and he started going into this sales presentation about, oh, I'd like to set up a webinar with you so we can go over, all the ins and out and the contractual obligation. I was like, just send the paperwork, just do it. Because when I realized it was for real, I mean, WebMD is a big deal. They are the
Absolutely.
number one consumer-driven search engine for health-related topics. So when someone is looking for
Wow.
something, if you're not a doctor, doctors will, go to PubMed or whatever, but that's different. The average person just can't tolerate that kind of research, that those published articles. So when they have a question, the number one search engine for that is WebMD, not Facebook.
Yep.
Woohoo! Well, congratulations.
Thank you.
And isn't that nice?
It is nice.
You're my chiropractor.
Yeah.
Woohoo!
Yeah. So today I'd like to talk to, since it is the first day of fall, I was thinking, all right, what am I going
What?
to come in and talk to? Yeah, triple digits out there, and it's the first day
First
of
day
fall.
of
Gotta
fall.
love it.
Uh-oh.
Gotta love it. So I thought, what better than fall prevention, right? Fall savings, right? So we're going to talk a little bit about that, and God forbid you do fall, but to try to avoid the falls, I'd like to spend most of the show on that, if that's okay with you guys.
Oh, that'd be great.
Yes.
Because it is a very real and serious situation for this audience.
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. Falls result in not only fractures and possible surgery, but debilities that could continue in life and pain. So a great topic, I think, that we can bring forward to our senior listeners in Santa Clarita.
Yeah, thank you. So, fall prevention starts with the person themselves. If they can, because as we get older, we're going to, lose some flexibility. We're going to lose some balance. We're going to lose some strength. It's just part of the aging process, but we can minimize all of that substantially. And there are some great techniques, and I'd like to focus the first part about that, and then some house cleaning, first level house safety, house safety.
Not house cleaning, house safety.
Yeah, well, cleaning is part of it. Yeah, safety.
You mean physically cleaning
Yeah,
or
physically-
cleaning stuff out?
Physically, both.
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 Mm-hmm.
So keeping your house clean is going to be a big part of this. Some of the stuff you're going to need some help. So some of the stuff needs professional help. Like you gotta have the handrails in the bathroom. It's a must. You gotta have it, and that needs to be professionally installed. So you can't play around with that. Um, and maybe there may be some electrical work that might be required. You can't have any cords around. You can't see any cords anywhere because if you can see them, you can trip on them. That's a whole hazard in and of itself. And you need lighting. Okay. I want to first of all back up a second and say, how I had this epiphany. I woke up at like 4 o'clock. And I was like, oh, what? I have no idea. What am I going to talk about on the show? And then I realized what day it was. It's the first day of fall. And immediately it triggered this whole thing because my father's mother, about 2 years after we lost his father, my grandfather, my father was trying to get in touch with, his mom, my grandmom. He called several times over the course of a day. Normally, she doesn't go anywhere. She might be out shopping or something, but he calls, nothing. So, she's lived in the same neighborhood for 30 years at that point. So he's calling the neighbors and asking them to go check, and nothing. Oh, no, we haven't seen her, blah, 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 blah. So it's an hour away. He has to drive down there. He drives down there, and I think it was a Sunday because that's typically when we would be in contact, either go down there or call and check up on everything. So about 2 hours later, we get the call from him like, it's not good. So he went down there, found her in the bathroom. She'd been stuck on the floor in the bathroom for days.
Oh.
Got medevaced after a lengthy hospital stay. She was never right again. I mean, never. She came and stayed with us, but she never really fully recovered her health. And we wound up losing her, and it could have all been avoided, and that's why I took literally from 4 a.m. till, that's why I ran a little late getting to the show today. I've been compiling all this information, going out there, finding out a comprehensive list of safety points, not just for the home, but for the person, for the individual. Do whatever they can to have that internal strength, that internal resistance against falls in the first place, but also do some things around the house to minimize your risks. So and again, I apologize for running a little late, but that's why. So I do have a great list. It's currently on my website, and I will also have a link to that through the KHTS website. We're going to post an article. It will be up. I almost had it done before I got here, but it's kind of a complicated process. So I will have it up definitely before the end of the day where people can just check into KHTS, take a look at that article on fall savings is going to be the tagline. Saving yourself from falling on the first day of fall. How cute, huh?
Yeah.
That's good thinking.
But going back to you had brought up lighting. Can we go to that right now, and you can talk about the importance of how darkness is a threat to us?
Oh, it's huge, and that's what got me off on this tangent. Thank you, Dr. Dorio. So, all right. One of my pet peeves is that my grandparents, they were they lived through the Depression, and they always had like 40-watt bulbs in everything. Like it was a thing with them. Like they just didn't want to spend the extra money on a bright light anywhere. And that always bothered me. But I do not trust night lights. In researching this, they were saying, get night lights in every hallway. A night light isn't enough light. So what I recommend is that, now there are LEDs that, 15 watts is 100 watts of the old kind of light bulbs. They cost a little bit extra to get started, but then it's a no-brainer because it barely uses any energy and it's twice the light of what you're used to. So well lit, especially your most favorite pathways to the bathroom is going to be the most critical one, because that's the one that gets most people in trouble. All jokes aside, the bathroom is the most dangerous room in the house by far when it comes to falls. So you want that whole pathway from your bed, which is where you're probably going to be going from your bed to your bathroom. It should be completely unobstructed. Should be no slip surfaces the whole way there. Then the research suggests that you should actually have no slip footwear on as well, not just rely on your bare feet, but have the no slip footwear on. And I want to take a moment to talk about that. Most slippers I see are, they're just basically sandals. They're a flat piece of fabric with a little thing to kind of wrap around your toes. That in itself can cause falls. So I absolutely recommend a full foot covering slipper that is kind of form-fitting. And I understand that it's easier just to slide your foot into something. However, if you're going to fall on it, convenience is not the main point there. So if you need to have one of those extended shoehorn thingies that, help you get these things on and off, but definitely have something that actually clings to your foot and isn't going to slip out from under you, or maybe even cause you to trip if it comes half off, which is, a very good possibility with most of the slippers I see out there. Now, getting up is another big issue, because a lot of the seniors are on blood pressure medication, and blood pressure has to do a couple of main important things when you change positions, especially from going from laying down to standing up. You don't want to do that too quickly, because if you're on blood pressure medication, there's a very good chance that your blood pressure is not going to raise enough to keep blood and oxygen circulating in your brain when you make that change. And you could feel faint, fall down, and you're in trouble. So give yourself a minute, literally a minute, to sit up. And while you're sitting up, flex and extend your hands, your fingers, and your toes. Like make a fist and open, make a fist and open. This is a trick that the flight surgeon for the Air Force uses on his pilots, because they can't take blood pressure medication and be cleared for flight. So they have to know how to get their blood pressure right in their brain. So this is a trick that's been used for years that will help get the blood flowing in your brain. And it's as simple as clenching your fist, opening and clenching your fist. But I want you to do the same thing in your feet, because most people, after a certain age, have some arthritis, maybe in their feet, maybe in their ankles, maybe some plantar fasciitis, and those first few steps aren't necessarily so pleasant. But if you flex and extend your fingers and your toes like that, you'll not only get blood flowing to the area, but you'll minimize the pain on those first few steps. That can be enough to set you off balance and cause a problem for you.
Well, it's interesting because when I have to get up in the middle of the night and go to the bathroom, I turn myself sideways on the bed and dangle my legs and move them up and down so that I have movement in my legs. And then I very slowly sit.
Sure.
Because I've learned the hard way. I just bounded out and ended up on the floor.
Yep.
Because that makes me lightheaded.
Well,
when
you got
move
lucky.
that fast.
Yeah, you got lucky.
Yeah.
I know I did. Because I have an end table, I have a chest of drawers, but what I do is I flex my legs and then I sit up very slowly, reach to my end table, go over to put my legs down, feet on the floor, hold on to the edge of the chest of drawers, then go to the side of the bathroom door, then the sink, and then the rail, and then I turn myself around.
Right. So you've got your hand on the wall or something the whole way
Yes.
there. Yeah, that's
Oh,
brilliant.
yes.
Yep.
Yes, I have
And
my hands on something because I've done it
Yeah.
before. I've gotten up so fast that I've ended up falling on the floor.
Yeah.
And
And
add
some
to
people
that,
aren't so lucky.
No, that's very true.
to add
That's
to
very
that, one
true.
might, when they stand up for the first time, they should still be in a little bit of contact, especially with their legs, with the bed, so that they know if they're going to go down, they'll go back on the bed and not fall to the floor.
Right.
Plus, in addition to that, some circumstances and home setups, bedroom setups, are where you can put a grab bar also near the bed on the wall, which some of my patients have done. And they can utilize the grab bar, like Barbara, you said, you get to the bathroom, they're grab bars. But it's dangerous also just taking some of those steps in the middle of the night. You don't have a light on or whatever it is different. And it's a higher chance and possibility that if you fall, you're going to hit the floor and damage could take place. So there are a lot of little things that we can do to assure that one does not run into problems, long-term problems, getting up too fast and going to the bathroom. Everybody complains about going to the bathroom in the middle of the night, and that's understandable. That's the physiology of our bodies. But we can protect ourselves by doing the right things and preparing us in case something should happen. And, it's common for people to stand up and be on blood pressure medication or be a little bit on the dehydrated side, having slept for 4, 5, or 6 hours and not having any fluid. So many causes, but we can prevent a catastrophic event from occurring by being real careful.
Well, the other thing too, when Russ was around, he was having problems. I had to use a walker, and one night, he woke me up, and he was in the bathroom, and I had to go in there with him. And as he was getting up from the toilet seat, he fell sideways, knocked into me, and we both went on the floor.
Oh,
Oh, wow.
And that's when I decided
yeah, need help.
I need help.
Yeah.
And I got overnight home care for him because I could no longer be comfortable going to bed at night, leaving him in the living room in the chair because he couldn't lie flat on his bed.
Right.
But he would get up from that chair, use his walker, and walk into the bathroom area. And when that happened, I said, no. So I got in home care. In the nighttime, she would come in at 10 o'clock at night and leave at 6 in the morning. But I knew he was taken care of, and I could get a good night's sleep to take care of him during the day,
Sure.
And it's the other thing, too. He bought me a walk-in tub for my birthday. And that was a lifesaver for him.
Sure.
Absolute lifesaver, because he could step into that tub, sit down on the seat, close the door, and use the shower nozzle to shower.
Sure.
And because we tried doing it in the regular shower, but I would have to get in there with him,
Right.
it just didn't work.
Well, not everybody has those kind of options available to
that's
them. Not as
very
many
true.
people have, that kind of luxury. So there are safety options for the bathroom for the average consumer. If you have a standard tub, that is going to be an obstacle. That may be an
Absolutely.
issue that needs to be addressed. But
Absolutely.
most people can make a shower situation work
Yes.
without having the expense, because those walk-in tubs are not that cheap.
No, they aren't.
Yeah.
They
So,
aren't. But it was a lifesaver
Sure.
for us. It really was. And when I had 24/7 care for him, the carekeepers, they did it. They did it all. Helped him do everything, which was an absolute lifesaver.
Yeah, that's great.
And I was so fortunate that I got long-term care insurance.
Yeah.
And Russ was very angry at me when I first told him I was going to get it. He said, "No, you're not." And I thought to myself, yes, I am. And I got it, and I tell you, it was a lifesaver.
Sure.
It really was. And I still have it for me,
Right.
so that, if my kids are not able to come down and stay with me, at least I'll have someone there to help take care of me if and when I need it. and I'm getting up there myself. But it's very, very important, and I think we need to take a break, don't we? Yes, we do. I'm Barbara Cochran with my co-host, Dr. Jean Dorio, on your hometown station, 98.1 FM, AM 1220 KHTS.
Healthcare can be difficult if you're underinsured or have Medi-Cal. Samuel Dixon Family Health Center can help. Services are available on a sliding fee schedule. The mission of the Samuel Dixon Family Health Center is to give the Santa Clarita Valley access to affordable, quality primary care. There are 3 locations to serve you: Canyon Country, Newhall, and Valverde. Go to sdfhc.org for more information and to find the location most convenient for you. Why did Mercedes-Benz of Valencia win the Dealer of Excellence Award in 2019?
Because we strive to provide the most outstanding sales experience.
Mercedes-Benz of Valencia COO Chris Paz.
We know you have high expectations. Our stellar team will meet and exceed your expectations. That's why we were named Mercedes Best of the Best, placing us in the top 10% of all Mercedes dealers nationwide.
Find out how you can lease a new Mercedes for unbelievably low monthly payments. Details at mbzvalencia.com.
Olive Terrace Bar and Grill is the hottest new Mediterranean fusion restaurant in Santa Clarita with unique delicacies like seafood right off the boat, mouth-watering prime steaks, artesian sandwiches, delicious pastas, and tasty kebabs. Unwind on their cozy outdoor patio at their weekend champagne brunch. Full menu and weekly specials at oliveterracebarandgrill.com. Check out their full bar and happy hour daily specials in Valencia on Copper Hill and Newhall Ranch Road by LA Fitness. Olive Terrace Bar and Grill, delicious food seasoned with love.
Experience luxury senior living at Oakmont of Valencia, Oakmont's brand new community in Santa Clarita. At Oakmont of Valencia, residents will enjoy 5-star amenities, including state-of-the-art movie theaters, spacious custom-built apartment homes, and sweeping views of the valley, all in close proximity to shopping, restaurants, and medical centers. Enjoy resort-style living, professional concierge services, a luxurious salon and day spa, and world-class dining. At Oakmont of Valencia, you'll embrace retirement in style. Enjoy impeccable service and unending possibilities with Oakmont. For details, visit oakmontofvalencia.com.
A Royal Suite Home Furnishings has been family-owned and operated in Santa Clarita since 1978. They keep America working by stocking heritage-quality furniture made right here in the USA. With high-end design and thousands of fabrics to choose from, A Royal Suite offers a wide selection of furniture at incredibly low prices. Pay 0% interest with your approved credit for 12, 24, 36, or 48 months. See store for details. Visit A Royal Suite, massive showroom on Carl Boyer Drive near Sam's Club in Santa Clarita.
A Royal Suite.
Sweet dreams.
Your hometown station.
Will you still need me? Will you still feed me when I'm 64?
Welcome back to the Senior Hour. I'm Barbara Cochran with my co-host, Dr. Jean Dorio, on your hometown station, 98.1 FM, AM 1220 KHTS. And we're speaking with Dr. Thomas Polucki, our local chiropractor, and I'm going to make this announcement again. Dr. Thomas Polucki, WebMD's top choice for best chiropractor and functional medicine in Santa Clarita. Woohoo! Woohoo! That is right. That is wonderful news.
So
And-
today's the first day of fall, even though it's 100 degrees out there in Santa Clarita. Gotta love it. I'm not complaining. I love it. But it is the first day of fall, so I wanted to have a relevant show on the first day of fall, and what better than preventing falls on the first day of
Absolutely.
fall? So
Absolutely.
yeah, you know, I shared a personal experience. What happened with my grandma? She fell and was laying there for days before anybody found her. I don't want anybody to ever experience that.
No.
Or what came next, because, you know, I hate to say it, but yeah, well, she had one of those.
And she didn't use it?
Now, I don't know what happened. We did get her one of those pendants.
Yeah,
And
I
I don't
wear
know
mine.
if
As soon
it-
as I walk in the door, I
Mhm.
put mine on.
Good.
When I come out, I have one on my purse, which
Good.
stays
And,
with
and,
me.
and
there's
that's the way
also
it
one in
should
the
be,
car.
and it's an extra added level of protection. But what I'm
Yes.
going to recommend is most people these days do have a cell phone. And I'm not saying don't have one of those pendants, but I'm just saying most people do have a phone. Most people do have a cell phone. And a couple of things about that phone. One is learn how to use it. Because I know a lot of
Yes.
people don't really know how to use their phone. Like one of their children or grandchildren gave them a phone, and they just have a phone. And maybe if you know, they might know enough how to make a call if they need to in an emergency. But know the basics of the phone. One, most phones these days have a built-in flashlight. Now that's going to be
That's right.
critical.
That's
You
right.
need to know how to use that.
It's
You should,
right there.
yep. You should also know how to use on an iPhone, because I've had iPhone now for I don't know nearly 2 decades. I can't I know enough about other types of cell phones to get by if I had to, but I can't explain it just from memory, like all the different options. On an iPhone, that flashlight is on the welcome screen. You don't even have to, as soon as the phone lights up, there's a little button down in the left-hand corner
Yep.
that looks like a flashlight. You tap that,
There it
and you
is.
now have a very good, strong flashlight in case of an emergency. And let's just say
There it is.
you
Right
can't
there.
find a light switch, or for whatever reason the bulb dies on your lamp on your nightstand. You should have your phone charging on your nightstand.
Mm-hmm.
It should be within reach of you all night long and charging all night long so that you have it. And here's the rub that a lot of people initially may have an issue with, but I'm gonna suggest that you do this. Bring the phone with you to the bathroom, because it would have saved a lot of grief for my grandmother if she had a cell phone, because she did have a pendant, but for whatever reason it didn't work. And I'm not saying that pendants don't work. I'm just saying that she was wearing her pendant when my father found her.
Wow.
So it's not fail safe. I can tell you from personal experience, things can go wrong with that. I don't know how or what or why, but I know that I would also have my phone. I would have the pendant and I would have my phone. I would always have my phone, especially in the bathroom. All jokes aside, the, it's the most dangerous room in the house.
It is. And I also have the life alert button on the wall.
Good.
Right in front of me.
But you might not
right
be
there.
able to reach it on the wall. And,
Well,
most
With one around
situations,
my
yeah,
neck and one on
exactly.
the wall.
Exactly. So most situations are going to wind up on the floor.
That's right.
And
That's
that's
exactly
where
right.
things need to be at emergency things, emergency services need to be at hand when you're laying on the floor, not necessarily at normal reach where a light switch would be, or a countertop would be, because you're most likely going to get in trouble on the floor,
That's right.
not standing or sitting. So let's see what else. Okay, so have the phone on the nightstand charging. Know how to use the phone. Know how to use the flashlight. One other thing about the phone, especially with iPhones, there's another button that you can program that comes on right away as soon as you open your phone, is your favorites list. All your emergency contacts need to be, one touch away. If it's too technical for you, have your grandchild do it, because I'm sure they know how to do it.
Oh, yes, they do.
You know.
Well, I also have Siri on my
Uh-huh.
phone.
Okay, so I'll tell you something about Siri. Siri is temperamental. Siri has an attitude. Sometimes Siri is right on it. Sometimes Siri is nosy and will butt into a conversation when you don't want her or him, or however you set it up. And sometimes Siri will ignore you even when you do all the right things, even when you push the right buttons and you have Siri set up on your phone. Sometimes Siri will ignore you. So I've had that experience on numerous occasions. I am a
Really?
technology jinx. So technology rarely works for me. And it's not that I don't know how to use it, it's that it doesn't like me. No technology really likes me. And I have the IT people to handle it because I really do believe that I am like a gremlin. Like technology breaks around me. It doesn't like me. It will not do what it's supposed to do. And I'm mildly competent at using technology, maybe more so than some people in this audience, and it still doesn't work all the time. I'm telling you right now, there are no fail safes. So have backup plans. Backup plans, and that's why I recommend having the phone on your nightstand, charging, bringing it with you to have the pendant. I think they're great, but I can tell you that they don't always work right. And the phone doesn't always work right too. So always have a backup. That's my motto. Yeah.
Well, I totally agree with you because
How about talking about the flooring? You had mentioned cords and things like that.
Yep.
How about flooring in general, furniture? I mean,
So
these are hazards.
absolutely, with a little bit of prep work, I recommend that you do a clean sweep of the house. Like literally, you have an eye for, okay, this is the pathway to the bathroom. This is the pathway to the kitchen. This is the pathway to my favorite chair. Most importantly, this is the pathway to every exit. And every single one of those pathways has to be completely unobstructed. There can be no electrical cords. There can be no magazine or whatever on the floor. If you have pets, that can become an issue with their toys. My pets leave their toys all over the place. And my wife actually slipped on some kibble that they left there. Like, they do weird things. Pets, have their
you
own
never know.
own little situations. Sometimes they'll take food from their dish and they'll put it in their favorite spot instead so that they can eat it away from everybody else or whatever. And she slipped and she tweaked her shoulder. I mean, it could have been much, much, much worse.
Mm-hmm.
But she was fortunate enough that, she caught herself, but unfortunately by catching herself, she sprained her rotator cuff. And
Right.
it could have been much, much
Oh,
worse.
yes, it could have been. Well, it's interesting because I had wood floors put in my house, except for the outlying rooms, the bedrooms. And I was going to get a hallway runner to go down both of the halls.
Yeah, that's got to be.
And I was strongly
no slip,
advised
yeah.
not to do it.
Well, you can. Okay, so here's how you make that work. It has to have a no slip backing on it. The hallway runner isn't the problem. It's either tripping on the edge of it or the thing moving. As long as it's not going to move and the edges are secured to the floor, you minimize the risk of both of those. I actually like that because it's more of a non-slip surface than a wood floor is. Wood floor can be slippery. So I like non-slip on the floor and I like non-slip on your foot as well. So I like those non-slip full coverage slippers to grab your foot and grab the floor, secure your foot to the floor with every step.
Well,
And a surface. A lot of people, spend a lot of money for expensive flooring that can be slippery. Nobody likes carpet anymore. I
No.
mean, that's pretty much only in apartments. You don't see carpeting in too many houses anymore, especially in the bathroom. You never see carpeting in the bathroom. So it's mostly you're going to be dealing with a tile in the bathroom, which is inherently dangerous, especially when it's wet. And
linoleum.
well, some kind of either laminate or wood, or if you upsell a little bit to some kind of tile or stone in the house, unless it's a porous stone, like there's really nice textured tiles that look just like stone, but not everybody's going to have that.
No,
Those
very
things
true.
have a little bit of texture on it. You want as much grip on the floor as possible when your foot is there, and you may not be completely awake, Or who knows? The cat could have thrown up, or the dog could have peed in the middle of the night, and all of a sudden you've got a wet, slippery situation. So you want to minimize the risk. No slip on your foot, no slip on the surface. Well lit. Again, I can't overemphasize that lighting is critically important, especially in the middle of the night. It's nighttime, I should be asleep. I'm, just going to have a minimal little night light on the floor or something. No, you need to be able to see this stuff fully lit. And there's no excuse now as far as lighting doesn't cost anything like it used to. You get the same amount, 100 watts of light for 15 watts now. So it's not, environmentally dangerous to light up your house, especially when it's only for a trip to the bathroom, which is the most dangerous trip everybody takes every day.
Well, it's interesting. At night, I wear those little socks that have the little rubber circles on the base of them.
Well, I like that.
And I wear them every night.
Yeah,
when I
so
go to bed.
it is going to be securely on your foot, and it is going to give you a grip.
Right.
So, yeah, I like that.
That's right.
I like that better than a slipper for sure.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. Because slippers, you can really catch them on something and you're gone.
Exactly.
That's why I like those little socks. And they're so inexpensive, but they are so effective.
That's great.
To have those little circles underneath where you walk.
Some people just can't wear socks or don't want to, or they're too difficult for them to get on and off, so they shy away from them. So there's that. I know why slippers are there. They're easy. They're the easiest thing to, put something between you and the floor. Unfortunately, because they're so easy, there's a risk. There's a significant risk with them. So, if you can stand the socks, if you have the flexibility, if you have the, dexterity in your hands to get them on and off every night, and you can, reach your feet still, then yeah, I love the idea of those little grippy socks.
Oh, I love mine. I love mine. In fact, I have to go buy some more because mine are getting worn out. I've been using 2 pairs for a long, long time. And now they're beginning to shred a little bit. And I'm thinking, I better go buy some more. So, and I think we need to take a break, don't we? Yes. I'm Barbara Cochran with my co-host, Dr. Jean Dorio, on your hometown station, 98.1 FM, AM 1220 KHTS.
Your business sign is essential to getting customers to your location. Feathers can help you get your business noticed. Feathers, now in a new larger space with plenty of parking. They walk you through each phase of your project with special attention to detail and quality. Feathers will provide you a sign that you can be proud of. Your sign will draw customers in instead of having them drive by. Visit Feathers online at feathersigns.com or go to Feathers' brand new bigger location at 26017 Huntington Drive off Rye Canyon or call 298-9442.
La Esmeralda is home to truly authentic Mexican food. This family-owned restaurant prides itself on its fresh-to-order menu. Even the tortillas are made in-house. If you have a taste for sizzling fajitas, flautas, or menudo, you have to try La Esmeralda's Mexican and Seafood Restaurant. Dine in or order out for the most authentic Mexican food Santa Clarita has to offer. Their Taco Tuesdays, it'll turn you into a regular. La Esmeralda on Bouquet at Haskell.
We salute our veterans who sacrifice for our freedom. Every week, we share an inspirational story of a local veteran on our Hometown Heroes page at hometownstation.com. Thanks to our good friends at Eternal Valley.
I'm Richard Nunnally, General Manager of Eternal Valley Memorial Park and Mortuary. We believe taking care of each other is what community is all about. We're proud to bring you the stories of our hometown heroes.
Eternal Valley, life well celebrated.
Visit hometownstation.com, sponsored by Eternal Valley.
There's a very good reason Embrace Your Smile has been voted Santa Clarita's #1 orthodontist for 10 years in a row.
Honestly, it's our team.
Dr. Megan LaCornu.
I think for me, what makes it stand out is when I have patients that come up to me and say, we have never been in a doctor's office that feels like this. Our team is a family, and we really get along, and we are really passionate about what we do, helping our patients get the smiles they want and deserve.
Dr. Megan LaCornu of Embrace Your Smile Orthodontics.
Embrace your smile.
EmbraceYourSmile.com.
Facey knows life gets busy. Let us go to work for you in the Santa Clarita Valley. We have 34 primary care physicians and 55 specialty doctors in 4 offices. And Facey has easy 24/7 online appointment scheduling for PCPs and PEDS with some extended hour appointments available. We are Facey Medical Group. Let us go to work for you today. For more information or to make an appointment, visit facey.com. That's FACEY.com.
Loss of hearing can affect the quality of life. Santa Clarita Hearing Center can help. They specialize in both preventative hearing loss and corrective measures, including diagnostic tests, new technology hearing aids, cochlear implants, hearing protection, and tinnitus treatment. They can adjust your current hearing aids or fit you for new ones. Santa Clarita Hearing Center also offers sleep molds, swim molds, and musician monitors. Book an appointment today. Log on to SantaClaritaHearingCenter.com. Located on McBean Parkway next to the hospital. That's SantaClaritaHearingCenter.com.
It's like no other station I've ever listened to. It's great.
Your hometown station.
Will you still need me? Will you still feed me when I'm 64?
Welcome back to the Senior Hour. I'm Barbara Cochran with my co-host, Dr. Jean Dorio, on your hometown station, 98.1 FM, AM 1220 KHTS. And before we go back to speaking with Dr. Thomas Polucki, he is now WebMD's top choice for best chiropractor and functional medicine in Santa Clarita. Woohoo!
Woohoo! Thank you.
That's fantastic.
It really is.
Fantastic.
So we've been spending the show, for people who are just tuning in, on talking about fall savings, fall prevention for the first day of fall. How you like that?
Very, very good.
How synchronistic. I love it. So I've been talking about all the things you need to do around the house, and I will have there is already a complete checklist, a very comprehensive checklist on my website, drpolucki.com, drpolucki.com. The blog, go to the blog, and it's today's blog. And I will have a link to it on the KHTS website before the end of today. So if you check into KHTS, you'll see the article, and they may repost it and send it out, because they're good like that, especially for something like this. So we have a checklist of things you can do around the house to minimize your risk of falling, and because it's a very serious risk for seniors in many different ways. So I've been researching since 4 a.m. on all the different possibilities of how to make you safe at home, how to stay safe at home, reduce the risk of falls for the first day of fall. And we talked about a bunch of those, but for this next segment, I know we only have a few minutes left. We only have about 5 minutes. So I want to touch base on how what I do enters into that, not just after you've fallen and trying to deal with the sprains and the strains, because that happens if you fall. It's not just, oh, well, you didn't break anything, you're not bleeding anywhere. So since you don't have to get stitched up and you don't have any internal bleeding that we can, see as a medical emergency, everything's fine. Just take some anti-inflammatories and call me if you lose consciousness. I mean, that's just...
How can you call?
Exactly.
If you lose consciousness. Now, wait a minute, Dr. Polucki.
So what I'm saying is, emergency services are literally lifesavers. However, people get the idea that, okay, well, I went to the emergency room and, they discharged me, so everything's fine. And that is rarely the case. These sprains and strains, when not properly rehabilitated, can cause lifelong problems.
And it takes time for rehabilitation.
It does. It can. It
Yes.
certainly can. And the key is getting to it early and getting to it aggressively instead of just saying, well, I don't really hurt. I'll wait and see how it goes. And then, 3 weeks or 3 months later, all of a sudden you wake up one morning and you can't turn your head or you can't raise your arm. And then you're wondering, well, why me? Why now? How is this happening? And it could have all been avoided, but a lot of people don't. They don't. We're not really conditioned to think in those terms. Again, ER techs have their job. People come in who are in life and death situations, and if they're not in a life or death situation, it doesn't really warrant their attention. So they're going to, triage the person, like, is this a real serious medical emergency or not? And if it's not, they're dismissed. But people walk away from that thinking that, well, it can't be that serious. If they're not excited about it, I don't have to be.
Yes.
And then they wind up paying the price, sometimes for the rest of their lives, with chronic conditions that can easily be managed by someone like me. Now, that's after the fact. What I really like is preventative. What I really like is working with people to reestablish their balance, to reestablish their coordination, to reestablish their flexibility, prehabilitating instead of rehabilitating, making people are safe and resilient. So let's say you do slip. Maybe you'll catch yourself. Maybe you will strain or sprain a muscle, but you won't fall and hit your head or break your hip and wind up in a nursing home. You see the difference there?
Absolutely.
So I think there is a very undervalued service in prehabilitation and making sure people are strong and flexible and balanced and coordinated. And that is absolutely the strongest point that I have to offer my patients.
And that couldn't be better.
Excellent advice from someone who really knows what it's like to take care of individuals who have fallen. Thank you very much, Thomas, for that information. If people want to get a hold of you, how do they do that?
Most people can handle a website now, so it's drpolucki.com.
Great. And how about phone number?
Sure, 661 753 9340.
753-9340. Dr. Thomas Polucki, extraordinaire. Great information today about falls on the first day of falls. Thank you so much for being on our show again. We are sponsored by Comfort Keepers In-Home Care and Santa Clarita Hearing Center. Listen to us next week on the Senior Hour. Now go and enhance your quality of life.